Welcome back, everyone. In today's video, we're going to continue from last week's episode about the Keystone Mine and Keystone Camp. Today, we're going to go through the mill part, which will be the last episode. And it was really awesome. One of our viewers, sent in what kind of mill this was, and because I had no clue. This is a flotation mill. So what they did was float the minerals to the top of these vats that you'll see inside, then scoop it off, and which they would have processed lead and zinc here and some gold and silver. So I hope you enjoy this episode. I truly did. There are artifacts from maybe like the 1880s all the way up to the 1900s. Um, so here we go. I hope you guys enjoy. All right, here we go. We're gonna do this. Let's see what we see along the way here. You can see there's lots of track coming out of here. So I don't know if we can get in here or not. We may have to go down below. But they had something mounted here. We can see there's a conveyor or something up there. There you go. Here's kind of a close-up of the structure inside. We're not going on top of there, but you can kind of get the idea. I'll zoom out. Look at this old lumber work. It's just got to be 1900s because it's round nails. We'll see if we can get in down below for sure. We're going to walk down there. When we get down there, I'll get back with you all, okay? All right, let's see if we can get into this thing. So we got a pile of stuff on the outside. I'm not sure what is. Looks like that was a tank, maybe a cyanide tank. Upright and all the wood. Yep, that's what it was, because there's the cables that wrapped around it. And all the wood has just eroded out of it since. So then we got some piles of stuff here. And looking back here, I do not see an entrance into this building. There's got to be somewhere though, huh? Looks like there was a sliding door here. This all been screwed shut. Let's see what we can find up here. On the way in, you'd think it was hidden. Definitely not hidden. It was kind of in the open. There was a door. Now we can get a nice view in here. So whatever they were mining here, they had vats that they were processing up above here. You can see one of them still got the belt on it. See if I can zoom in on it. Right there. And we can zoom in at the top. The colors are pretty cool. The sun coming through. You can see all kinds of pulleys and mechanisms up there. Okay.
That is a shaker table right there of some kind. So this would be normally setting at an angle, and your material would work through those little slots. Let me see if I can get some light on this. Okay, so let's find the best light setting. It might be a little too bright. See those little wood strips? So that table would shake, vibrate, and if it was gold, it would separate from the black material and run down into this top trough over here, I believe, and off into a bucket of some kind to collect it. I believe I've got that right. Now, I may be wrong. I may have it reversed, but that's kind of how it worked. Let's see what we got here. We'll go to the front first. And I kind of door was like hiding. I just happened to look, and there it was. I was so excited. So we got this old Kohler generator. Looks like it's an old flathead 4-cylinder. Probably a Model T motor. That's what it looks like to me. Looks like that's what they was running this operation off of. Oh, here's a shaker table in place right here. See, it's got a slide angle to it, and that's how they would have processed the material. We've got a couple flathead motors back here in the back. That they were either running this table with, or who knows what they were running with. These look like water pumps here on the floor. We got brick back here. It looks like there might be a furnace. We'll get back there in a second. This looks like another trommel.
So with further research, I find out that this is a ball mill, and this would have steel balls inside and would turn and process the material into fine material. It's things we learned along the way. Sorry I didn't know this information, but the one outside, the bigger one, that is what it was too.
Here's a better look at the table. It would have been covered with some material of some kind. We'll go back here and look, see what there is to look at. See if we can get a view of these old motors. Oh. So there's kind of a view of the old motors. Don't know what they had them set up here for, but nonetheless, they're here. I don't know if these stairs are safe or not. They feel sturdy. I don't know. That's a big generator there. So here's a look above here. Some kind of process they were doing up here. I'm not sure. I'm not going to get off on that stuff. You can see they had something huge mounted down there. It's concrete blocks. Let's see. This is solid ground here, so I'm not worried. But yeah, some kind of tanks. Somebody may be able to tell me, hey, there might even be ball mills of some kind. I'm not sure. And this is where the ore come down. Definitely through some kind of machinery here, like a sluice box type scraping action machine of some kind. Somebody can tell me, but it probably kind of helped move the ore through. Here's conveyor belt. So we know they were running conveyor belt in here. Okay, let's see what's up in this room here. A rope that looks like a snake, but it's not a snake. Oh, we got something cool back in here. Oh my. Look at that. That is a huge motor. What were they doing? What kind of motor is this, guys? Let's take a good gander at it. I smell diesel fuel, so I'm guessing this thing was diesel. Wow, you can see the inspection cover. Yeah, look at the crank in there. You can see the crank inside. Yeah, this was a diesel motor, definitely. You can see where, looks like this is where the fuel management system would have been at some point. Worthington, we'll have to look that up. So, wow, I'm just in awe. This is really cool. Big old drive belt. It's probably what this motor probably drove everything in this facility. The belt's laying on the floor down there. You can see it in the light. We'll walk around here to the side. So I'm guessing this might have been steam lines around. I'm not sure. That's exhaust pipe. God, this thing is amazing. Crazy cool. Wow. Yeah. That's the belt laying on the floor down there, in case you can't tell. And it would have run all them pulleys we've seen. Here's a good look around the room. See if I can get a little light here. You can see all the wiring they had, this porcelain wiring. Old cans here. Prestone antifreeze can. Kerosene tin there also. And there's some old fire hose. Oh, and here's a look at that old motor. That is so cool, man. We'll go around to the other side of it. You can see how it's kind of melted into the floor there. Okay. We had a service ladder here that went up. You can see the heads, the cylinder heads. That is one big motor, guys. Really cool. That's a find of a lifetime. I've never found anything this complete. Let's see if I can stand back and kind of get a shot of it. Yeah, okay. Kind of got her zoomed out. It is huge. Here's some kind of controls. All right, man, let's go downstairs. This was mind-blowing. I think that's a Johnny Popper of some kind. Right there, it was running something. You can see a belt around it. Okay. Very, very cool. Here's one last look around in here. See, they had a big crane up there. Cool piece of New Mexico history. Now, so we can get back down this thing without falling through this floor. All right. All right, let's go through this lower portion a little bit more. So you have some little things here. They have some kind of crusher here. They were crushing material and feeding it into those tanks. And this is another, looks like a massive generator right here. Looks like a little bit newer model. It's where your battery trays were. The batteries are gone out of it. This is definitely a newer piece of machinery. Let's see if I can read anything. Yeah, I can't really make it out, but maybe later. Okay. Very cool, huh? Look at that pulley. That's belt was wrapped clear around that motor upstairs and ran those multiple pulleys along there, which would in turn run these pulleys up above, which would have stirred these tanks in turn. Okay. And you can see these different ports are blocked off with little wood pegs, but they would have dumped them onto probably several of these shifting tables, or maybe some kind of bags to process later. It was really hard to say, but that'd be my best guess. Here's a box of some kind. Looks like, I'm not sure what that would have been for. Again, here's a glance up of that pulley system. It's really awesome. You can see the pulleys up above. We got some pistons on the floor here. Looks like out of a 350 Chevrolet, not too sure. Some pieces of pipe and whatnot. And carburetor kit. Squirrel cage here. We got an auger. And I'm not too sure what this part was used for. Looks like that auger might have been up along here somewhere, scooping something out. It's hard to say. Here's a view looking back. It was really cool to document this. It's once in a lifetime for me to see something this complete and original. If I get to see something else like this, I'll be tickled to death. But little fuel tank there. There's definitely something big mounted to those blocks. Not sure what, but all right. Well, let's see if we missed anything here. Some kind of piece of machinery back here. I'm not sure what that is. Well, this was a very, very, very cool place for sure, man. All right. I think we've seen everything in here. I'm gonna get out of here. And if we find anything else, we'll talk. We had to go and cool down the Jeep because it was getting pretty hot, all the walking. That's a look back at the mill operation. And there were some little items over here that we didn't get to film. We're going to film. This is an old jaw crusher here off to the left. We'll walk up to it. This was an interesting site. It's a mixture of stuff from the 1800s and then clear up to probably briefly as the 1990s. But it says it's a Universal number 4. You can tell this is, been setting out in the elements for quite some time. Let's back off a little bit. I'm a little too close. You see the jaw crusher right there. The pulleys that would have ran it right there. And here's how this mechanism would have worked. I kind of get my finger into the illustration. So you would have poured your ore down in here, and this thing would have went back and forth, crushing it. And it would have come out the bottom down here somewhere, which is sitting on the ground. There would have been a catchment or conveyor system of some kind to carry it on through. It's kind of cool. This is complete. These are oilers. She would have pulled these caps off, put oil or grease in there, and it would grease those cap bearings you see there. And that's how it would have worked. Now this item over here, we're going to walk up to. I'm not sure quite yet what it is. Let's see. Wow. So, not sure what this was at all, I'll be honest. But what a wheel. What a wheel of some kind. Yeah, I have no clue. Old boiler sitting there. And there's some big gears. That's called a map gear right there. I used to cut gears like that years ago. They're very strong. huge gear right here. And then there is a huge ore bin. Tracks coming out up top there. We're going to go up there here in a second. We got some stuff over here that we didn't get to film yet. Those are big old bearing caps to something. Now, you see those lines in there? That's where the grease would travel when you greased it. And that would grease the cap. Those are huge. I think this is another, some kind of crusher. It's probably a ball crusher is what I'm guessing this one is. Inside there would have been a shaft with some kind of cables attaching to balls, or just balls moving around in there, rotating to crush the materials. Let's see what we got over here. Not sure, but again, something rotated inside of there. You can see the bearing caps. Kind of the deal there. Looking back over the little camp. Okay. I do not know what that piece is there. I have no clue. Maybe somebody would. So we're going to go up there, check that out. We'll zoom in on it right here, kind of. And we'll see what's all up there. Pretty big pile of tailings. So it's a big operation. There's a big mine shaft somewhere. I know these are all capped off. I've seen several on the property already, but we can't really, there's not much to look at there so far, but we'll see what else we can find. All right, we'll get back tight. We made it to the top of the tailings pile. Let's see what we got going on here, huh? There's the looking out. The mill. We have got a pile of stuff up here. Old sheave wheels. Some rope that somebody left behind. So here was the shaft. Oh, which has all been newly filled in. You can see down in there. We'll zoom you. Okay, let's see if we can get a, no, that's as good as we're going to get there. Okay, so you kind of got to look down in there. We'll look down in there one more time. Shove you guys down in there. All right, we can see there's a winch over there. This is all just newly put in. Man, probably, I read an article 2019 is when they were talking about it. Now this is cool. Not to get off subject, but these are all old steam motors here that probably ran the big winch that was sitting here. Those are accumulators right there. See the blow-off valves up top. Look at that, the old gasket's still in place of the head that's missing. There's the cylinder still in there. And there's a complete unit over there. We'll maybe try to get a closer look of it. So this, here I got my hand on, would have been sitting on a pedestal like this. Looks like something happened. You can see the bearing blocks are definitely wore out, and I'm not getting in there because there is bees by the hundreds. So you can see the complete setup there of this one, and I'm going to move out of here so I don't get stung. But so yep, there's a good view of everything. Pretty cool. There's your mine shafts right there, and there's some miscellaneous equipment out here setting. I am not sure, guys. Looks like this might have been, geez, what's my best guess? Do not know would be my best guess on this. Was this to install some kind of bits on the drill? I don't know. Looks like it might have been, but not sure. We have some other machinery over here. Not sure. This looks like some kind of crusher of some kind. You pour your material in top, it looks like, but I'm not sure. Somebody might be able to tell me that might actually be a motor, because it looks like there's, yeah, pretty sure that's what this is. There's actually a motor. Looks like an old steam pump of some kind. That I am not sure. I don't know. If anybody knows out there, let me know. Got pipe. We got the cylinder probably off the front of that one we looked at. This is a head frame sitting right here. Rail that's all bent up. And here's a look off the top of this guy. There's the ore cart. There's track coming out from that mine shaft there. And you can see there's another mine shaft a little bit higher up on the hill. And so that's probably a stope that come up. And you got tanks on the hill up there for water, probably to process the ore, cool the drills, all that good stuff. But yeah, so it would have, your tracks would have, ore carts would have dumped into this bin here is what it looks like. And then it looks like later, to be honest, they had a tram that went all the way over to that mill over yonder there. And then they were processing it right on the spot. So at some time it looks like, oh, I see how they were doing this. They're dumping it in an ore cart and then probably into bigger carts down there. You can see the openings. They would have dumped into bigger carts probably, or a conveyor system, and then went over to here. That's how that worked. Pretty cool. a pretty cool miscellaneous pile of parts. And yeah, so I think this is going to kind of wrap this whole thing up. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I know we've enjoyed exploring this. It was really neat, and we didn't get stung at all, or no bee was harmed in this video. No human was harmed, thank God. But anyway, till the next time we find, this was Wild West signing out. You guys have a good week. Be kind to one another, and bye.